if I'm going to rage on this one or not. We're going to find out. So, we're going to find out what the fuck happened with Hasan and the collab with Trash Taste. How there's been backlash from this. Because again, I know nothing about what happened on here. That's why I'm interested. I know absolutely nothing about what happened with this. I only know that there's been a fuck ton of backlash for it. So I am intrigued. And I avoided watching it. I avoided watching anything on this specifically because I was thinking I was going to do something for it on stream. So I'm literally going into this blind because I have no fucking clue what happened here. So if I'm going to rage, I'm going to rage. If I'm not going to rage, I'm not going to rage. We're going to find out one way or another. So chat, let's fucking go.
So on February 21st, Hasan was on the Trash Taste podcast. And there's a flood of backlash in the comment section about Trash Taste having this dude on their show. Hasan is aware of the backlash and he does not seem happy, making a number of responses addressing it. So let's take a look at all this stuff and let me know what you think. First off, some analytics. The video currently has 293,250 views with 15,566 dislikes, giving it a 49% dislike ratio. And this is after Hasan.
Okay, I will say, without context of knowing about Trash Taste or anything of their podcast or anything of the nature, especially if you're going to have someone considered controversial like Hasan on there. Whenever this clip was taken, a 50-50 split is about what I would have expected. Now, if one of you guys want to go on this and see what the current ratio is, yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about, Redmond. I'm guessing a lot of dislikes is like, okay, Hasan's on, instant dislike right away. But the 50-50 split on likes and dislikes is pretty much what I expected. And again, excuse me, 18K to 29K. Okay, there's a little bit more difference there, but it's not overwhelmingly negative. That's not like, people love to use the whole ratio thing. But it's not great. It's not good. It's not horrific. Like a 10K gap, considering the view counts, is like, obviously people don't like it, but I would not classify that as the quote-unquote there being ratio. Whenever somebody says like, oh, this video, the video is ratioed, I consider, Atanashi, I thought the add-on was, did they change it? I thought the add-on was only needed to view the dislikes. You can click dislike. Yeah, you only need the add-on to view the dislikes. You can click the dislike without having the add-on. Exactly. So, yeah, but Core, I'm looking at it from the social concept. I'm looking at it from the social context. Because you have to remember, when it comes to the likes and the dislikes, people are working off of pure emotion. Okay? And very often, people will click dislike literally just because of the headline. So, that's why my opinion about a 50-50% on dislikes, especially with a topic like this where Hasan is on the show, like people have said, just seeing he is on it, they will click dislike before they even hit play on the video. So that's why I view as, with this one being a 50-50 and the 40-60 is, you're starting to edge into ratio territory, but it's still not like, when someone like crows about, oh, this video is being ratioed into oblivion, 40-60 I would not consider to being ratioed into oblivion. It's obviously showing that there is more dislike to it. I'm not saying that. dislikes are relevant when talking about if something is ratio. Well, that's what people always use it. That's how they always quantify it, Bobcats. They'll say like, oh, the likes versus dislikes is that it's being ratioed. Now on Twitter, the ratio would be like comments or retweets on Twitter. So like ratioing on Twitter is like differently versus like YouTube. No, okay, so Bobcat again, that on Twitter I agree. On Twitter it's likes versus comments. That I agree with you. There where there's a ratio. It's and again, this is just like my opinion on the whole ratio thing. Is it's too easy to click like or dislike without quantifying if the video is good or bad. Now, if you get like, you've seen somewhere it's like 18,000 likes and then 200,000 dislikes, we've seen that in recent months. Yes, I would qualify that as a ratio. The 40-60 that's currently at, I'd say you're going into ratio territory. You are starting to go into it. I wouldn't say it's qualified as like if someone was to say like ratioed into oblivion, quote unquote. We're not there yet, but it's working on it. Well, Gore, honestly, I've said this before. When it comes to video, when it comes to social media, likes is not a great metric. Likes, and in terms of YouTube, subscribing to a channel is not a good metric to determine how good or how successful a video or a channel is. If you want to determine the successfulness or the enjoyment of a video, particularly on YouTube, and this is in specific to YouTube, you look at the views and you look at the number of comments. That is how you can quantify if a video is liked or if it is popular or if it's, enjoyed or successful. That's how you can qualify it. Likes is just too easy, just click. Subscribes is too easy, just click and forget you clicked on it. And so you stay subscribed to a channel even if you don't watch them. So for YouTube, views and comments is how I would quantify it. That's just my opinion.
After Hasan directed his viewers to essentially combat what he's calling the brigading. So presumably before he did that, this was an even worse ratio. I'll show you the clip where he does issue that statement. Once again, we'll go over all that stuff, and these analytics are provided by jabrek.net. First, a brief clip of the podcast itself. Just seems fitting to play at least like, short portion of that. Then we'll take a look at some of the comments so you can get some more of the context.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm joined once again by the boy.
Wait. Who is this first guy?
And welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm joined once again by the boys, and we have a returning guest. Because you're back in Japan now.
Hell yeah, I'm here permanently now. I've decided this time it's for real.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, now that my country's on fire, I chose Japan to just stay here.
All right.
Whoa. Well, yeah, we got Hasan. He's back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no politics. Sorry.
Yeah.
No politics. All right. I don't want to hear it.
I love how they can't get 30 seconds into the episode without this dude bringing politics up. Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I will say is his singular comment of just saying, because my country's on fire, I moved to Japan. Now, did he move to Japan? I don't even fucking know. I honestly expected worse. Because I've heard that from plenty of content creators, other than Hasan, that are claiming, that the country's on fire. From him, that's actually kind of lightweight in terms of like a political commentary to just say, basically America's on fire right now. Yeah, it's 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 a bit it's certainly extreme. And he's of course going with the the lowest hanging fruit by just saying like, okay, things didn't go the way I wanted them to, so my whole country's on fire. Yeah, California was on fire. I know. It is for Hasan though, that's for what he said, that's actually on the lower end of the spectrum of the bullshit that's come out of his mouth, honestly. And yeah, said you're right. That has been people have been saying that depending on who is in power, has been getting said that for probably almost for closing in on a decade now. Is he on a watch list? That actually does not surprise me in the slightest. That doesn't. Him relocating to Japan actually does make a lot of sense. Well, we confirmed it. He's on a watch list. Yeah, so he's probably in Japan hoping to avoid getting in trouble. And maybe hoping that maybe if they try to come after him, he's hoping maybe that they won't be able to extradite him. I don't know. But yeah, it's well, that's the question. That's the question, Dragon, is like, are they, he's maybe hoping that he won't. Japan is an ally, so who the hell knows? Anyway, we're going way off track. We're going down a rabbit hole that's unnecessary. Let's focus on why, because that singular comment alone could not have been enough for the backlash. So I want to see what caused the backlash. If it was just his presence, or Gray Matter, it's probably a question of some of the things he said on Twitch. If there's a question of whether or not maybe the current people in power might want to try and facilitate charges against him or something. This is spitballing. I have no idea if any of this is happening. It's just spitballing ideas of why he might have, gone to Japan, if he actually is relocating to Japan, at least for the interim, why he's doing that. It's a guess that has no basis in fact. I'm just literally spitballing ideas and that's it. The backlash comes in. Okay, that's what I want to know. I want to know where this backlash comes from. So let's see if we can get into that.
30 seconds. Anyways, taking a look at the top comments, we've got, I'd prefer my anime discussion not to involve a guy who celebrated the death of innocent civilians in no less than 2 different recent modern conflicts, and who carries water for authoritarian regimes and celebrates terrorists indiscriminately attacking civilian vessels at sea, abducting their crews, and who still stone women to death for not obeying their every command. Thanks.
There we go.
Another one saying, I've been a viewer of the Anime Man and Giga for more than a decade. As a female...
Wait, what's this one? Connor, there'll be like 5 comments like I can't believe they had him back on. Me, checks comment section. Oh, how wrong you were. I'm guessing the majority of the comment section was this.
Viewer, I am absolutely disgusted seeing 3 men, the biggest in the anime YouTube space, happily endorse an R-word apologist. I looked up to you guys when I was young. I thought you were different. I'm incredibly hurt and disappointed seeing this. And right below that comment, another one that reads, who thought having Hasan is a good idea? This isn't just a simple drama that can be ignored. That's like saying 9/11 is just drama, then proceed to have Bin Laden or Al-Qaeda members as guests to talk about their favorite video games.
To that end, I will point out that Hasan's former mod, Rogan, actually did for on her stream, she tried to basically do a cake celebrating 9/11. Yes, it is Mousie's Connor. I believe so, Tanashi. So yeah, this interesting like with this comment is that his former mod Frogan, who they have, I believe she's still in communication with him, or at least working with him or whatever, she failed, by the way. She failed to be able to do this. She wanted to make a cake on stream, literally celebrating the events of 9/11. Yeah. Not a good idea. Thankfully, I don't think she got enough donations for it or something, but she ended up not making that cake. But she still champions, just like Hasan, she champions the same people that he does. And basically she's the same as him. No, she's back, or she was only a temporary ban. They banned her for, it was like 2 or 4 weeks, but she is back.
Drama, then proceed to have Bin Laden or Al Qaeda members as guests to talk about their favorite video games. Other comments talk about how people are dropping trash taste over this collab. For example, this one saying, "I've been here since the start. I'm done." Similarly, right below that, this one reading, "Texan here. I can say with the absolute state of confidence that I can say for the rest of us here in this beautiful state, we have and will never tolerate terrorists and their sympathizers. We delete them. If he's your friend, be a good friend and have a seriously long talk with him about changing his ways or changing his name. It's been a good time listening to you, gentlemen, but this is the end of the road for me. I'll pray for your wisdom and discernment. Stay safe, boys." And right below that, another one reading, "This is the last thing produced by Trash Taste that I will ever watch." More comments talking about dropping Trash Taste.
I want to see the other two. "Disgusting that they have a truly despicable person on, shows they have no moral integrity. Yeah, you guys get a timeout from me at least for the first half of this year." Okay.
The last thing produced by Trash Taste that I will ever watch. More comments talking about dropping Trash Taste right below those. For example, this one also reading, "Been following both Joey and Gigux since 2015, but now I'm unsubscribing. Not gonna watch someone who endorses terrorism by hosting this guy." Once again, those...
I mean, that's the problem. That's the biggest thing. When Hasan basically did that, when he supported those people, when he has been apologist for the essays, all that, he's basically poisoned himself. He has poisoned himself, and so anyone that associates with him, if they like what these guys did with Trash Taste by bringing him on, like, okay, serious question. Does Hasan actually like anime? Hey, is Hasan actually someone that even likes anime in the first place? I ask because, again, I don't know. I know nothing about Hasan other than he supports terrorists and apologizes for SA. He's a tourist. Yeah. Oh, yes. Rhyme, I know. Yeah, Rhyme, yeah, I've raged about that in previous videos. How I have gone absolute rage mode on that a couple months ago on videos. I'm not raging on it again because I can't do that again. Saw someone mention him not liking, and yeah, he's a casual. He's basic. Yes, yeah, I think I vaguely remember that, Kanito. Yeah, that Houthi terrorist he had on the show. Yeah. So yeah, that's another big thing is they brought him. Why did they bring him on this show in the first place? They had no reason to bring him on the show in the first place. The show was about anime. The podcast that they were doing was about anime. He doesn't give a fuck about anime. Why are they even bringing him on in the first place? They had... Quite right, I have no idea. I do not know. They had him on before and wanted clout. Gore, who wanted the clout? Hasan or the podcast? Because if it was the podcast that wanted clout, they should have known ahead of time that bringing him on would not have garnered them any kind of clout whatsoever. You think? Yeah, beats that. I'm wondering the same, but I don't know. Like, oh, Connor's in his friend circles. Okay. I mean, from a business perspective, you think Mousie's yeah. I mean, because she's so close with Connor. Yeah, unfortunately, if Mousy is going to. I don't know. I think Mousy might catch some heat. I don't know if she's going to get hit hard, but really? She does? Okay. I don't know. It's like, here's the thing. From a business perspective, this feels stupid. It feels, from a sheer business perspective, it feels stupid to bring him on because they know that he is basically content creation poison right now. Yes, he is one. And by the way, hang on. Someone said, hang on. Let me word it. Okay. Hasan is still one of Twitch's largest streamers. He's one of their largest political streamers. A lot of fucking people are bigger than Hasan is. He's the biggest political streamer. So, this was a bad decision, both from a social and a business standpoint, by these guys to bring him on their podcast, because they had to know it was going to come with backlash. They had to know, and if they didn't know, if they didn't realize it, I'm sorry, that's a unexplainable, significant lack in judgment.
Comments were just some of the comments that you can find by sorting by top comments. And it seems like there's thousands, if not tens of thousands of comments where people share similar sentiment. Interestingly enough, the pinned comment is from Trash
Not exactly, Rygat.
We don't.
That's why I was
never
asking.
Deleted comments on any episodes. And this is because a number of people have been accusing them of deleting comments that are critical of Hasan. For example, this tweet that...
Okay. I'm gonna do a gimme here. I will do a gimme here. Trash Taste might not be deleting fuck all from their comments. YouTube is known to be deleting comments. I've had comments deleted off of my YouTube videos before that I did not delete. Like, I have deleted comments in my YouTube videos before, usually because it's someone that's doing obvious scam or spam. Like, I've had, people try to do, like, Bitcoin shit in my comments, and I nuke those from orbit. But I don't like people that have opinions where they, like, come after me or something. I'll leave those the fuck alone. But yeah, YouTube itself will delete comments. So in terms of like, people thinking, oh, Trash Taste is deleting comments. No. I will buy that they don't delete comments and that YouTube is doing the deleting of the comments. Trash Taste has nothing to do with it. So that's one that I'm going to do a gimme for, and I don't think that they're actually deleting.
A number of people have been accusing them of deleting comments that are critical of Hasan. For example, this tweet that reads, Trash Taste is getting heat for having Hasan Piker on the podcast and then deleting comments critical of him. Included are screenshots, and we'll take a look at these real quick. This one reading, sad to see they had to delete so many comments. I like Trash Taste, but this is very disappointing. Insecure much? The second screenshot reading, deleting all the comments hating on Hasan is wild though. And the next screenshot reading, funny how this comment section suddenly started glazing Hasan after ripping him apart. Don't think we didn't notice that the top comment got removed. That account making a follow-up tweet that reads, even the Trash Taste Reddit wasn't impressed. Going on to quote, first time seeing a 50% like to dislike ratio on a Trash Taste episode. Now the...
Okay. So this gives me some more context that I did not have before. The fact that Trash Taste did not have a 50% like to dislike ratio in previous episodes. That is context. Where the 50-50% context, or the 50-50 like to dislike ratio, is more significant than most other things. If they've had a consistent, if they were consistently their stuff being liked far more than being disliked, and this is the first time it went to 50-50 like this, there I can understand why it could be quantified as being a ratio, because it's the first time it's happened on any of their videos. That's significant. So context, okay, now I see why people saying a 50-50 ratio, even though it's not that anymore, the dislikes have gone up, is a significant thing. I get it now. Again, context.
Those comments are just gone. Is the person who manages the channel actually deleting them? Taking a look at the provided screenshots, we can see there's actually a lot more to that comment. The full comment reading. The first thing I did when this episode came out was scroll down to the comments. There were hundreds of them expressing the fact that they did not like having Hasan back. Some of them had almost 1,000 likes.
Wow.
Now those comments are just gone. Is the person who manages the channel actually deleting them? Please let this just be a YouTube glitch, because otherwise, wow, that would be low. As we already went over, Trash Taste made a very brief response denying that any...
And again, it is possible. It is possible that it's YouTube deleting comments, not Trash Taste. Now, if the top comment was a pin, yeah, Zed, I do too. Could Trash Taste be taking them down? Sure, certainly. It's within their ability to delete comments, so certainly someone that's in charge of the channel or that has power in the channel could be deleting comments. Absolutely possible. But again, excuse me, I do know that YouTube has taken down comments on channels before. YouTube has done this. So maybe, I don't know if it qualifies as a YouTube glitch, but YouTube has removed comments in the past. It's entirely possible the same thing has happened here. So granted, it's a lot of comments, which is really stretching my believability that it's all YouTube. It is possible, though. It is entirely possible that YouTube deleted the comments and not Trash, but it's getting close to the point where we're stretching the believability to its breaking point if it's that many that they are saying. We're at the breaking point of saying, okay, yeah, it's still YouTube, and not just saying, okay, Trash Hawk is undoubtedly doing this deleting.
Comments were deleted. Still, it's very interesting that comments on both Reddit and YouTube claim that these deletions are indeed happening, even on the Trash Taste subreddit itself. And so, as always, come to your own conclusions. Speaking of the Trash Taste subreddit, let's hop over there and take a look. Specifically, this post that reads, "Seems like Hasan has brigaded his community to quote-unquote get in and actively counter the brigade." The comment section. And linking to a tweet that we'll take a look at next. As for the post itself, it got 563 upvotes before being locked by the moderators. With this mod leaving a pinned comment, a sticky comment rather, that says, "For anyone reading this, if you are not interested in talking about the actual content of the Trash Taste podcast episode, please don't make comments. All you're doing is making our volunteering harder, where we'll just have to lock certain posts and remove posts as well."
So, if between the lines, if you're gonna call out Hasan, like we know you are, we're just gonna lock the posts so you can't comment on them and call out Hasan. Yeah, the horror that the mod actually has to mod. The horror.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's going to help the situation. Well, this presents a very fun opportunity. Let's take a look at some of the top comments on that post that the mod apparently doesn't like. Well, at least ones that the mod or mods didn't yet remove. For example, this top response that talks about how pathetic it is to issue some kind of counter brigade, and how that's also a brigade. The next one reading, "Yeah, that'll solve the problem for sure."
Okay, I want to read this. "Counter the brigade is also a brigade. They need to stop the micro penis comparison contest." Not wrong. Not wrong on that.
And this one saying, "We wait for another Connor damage control short video, lol." Right below that, this comment reading,
"Wait. Connor to damage... What did Connor have to do damage control on recently? Did he have to do some kind of damage control video recently on something? I don't follow Connor all that much, so I have no idea what's going on. He did... Yeah, but what did he do? What was the damage control he did for Mouse? Just defending it... Are we talking about the whole thing with the Kai Cenat thing? Like defending Mouse when people were going after her for the whole Kai Cenat thing? If that is the video in question that they're talking about that's quote-unquote damage control, that's not damage control. That's sticking up for his friend. If he did a video defending Mousy, yeah, neither would I, Zep. Yeah, if he did a video defending Mousy because people were going after her about the whole Kai Cenat thing, that's not a damage control video. That's literally just Connor sticking up for a friend. In no way, shape, or form would that be an apology or damage control video. Not at all.
Saying, "We wait for another Connor damage control short video, lol." Right below that, this comment reading, "Ah, great, another creator telling his community to counteract the hate. Looks like this is going to be more than a 12-hour drama." Then there's this one that reads, Of all the things he
No
could have
idea,
done to calm the
Tanashi.
flame, he just sends it into a blaze. This one's really funny because of how things played out. So this comment says, will the mods A, ban Hasan for brigading, B, delete this post, cue Jeopardy music. Turns out it was actually option C, lock the post and threaten to remove comments. Okay, with that context, let's hop over to the tweet that was linked in that post in the OP. That being this one that reads, Hasan Malds, while reading hate comments from his Trash Taste podcast episode, directs his audience to quote-unquote get in and actively counter the brigade. And
oh my God.
Flip.
Mr. President, the second piker has hit the trash taste. Why would you do this, Hasan? Really? The terrorist endorser? Shame. Too bad. I get irritated from just seeing his face. The guy has said so many profoundly idiotic things that I honestly cannot listen to a word from him. The brigade is on, folks. Get in and actively counter the brigade.
No. You. Fuck. You colossal dunderfuck. That's not how you do it. Okay? If someone's hating, you want to know... Okay. You want to know the appropriate response that he should have given? For just a second, fuck his politics. Okay? For 1 second, put all the political bullshit with him aside. Okay? Let's just say he's some normal streamer that is not very political, and for some reason people don't like him. Okay? Let's pretend. We'll pretend for 1 second. Because this applies even to Hasan in his current form. Do you want to know how you respond when people do this in YouTube comments? And you are a large streamer with a very large following where people will post clips of you on YouTube and other social media from your stream. You want to know how you respond? You know what the appropriate thing to do is? When you're reading all these comments, you look at your community, like I do with you guys, and say, chat, don't say anything. If you wish to be supportive, fine. Do not go after them. Do not engage. They are free to say whatever the hell they want. I will call out, I'll call out any incorrect statements or any falsehoods that I can verifiably determine are false. Do not engage them. This is seeking attention. You engaging them is only going to give them the attention that they are seeking, and it's going to look poorly on our community. Leave it the fuck alone. That's what I have told you guys many times when we've watched stuff on when we've watched videos where it's just horrible stuff and people are either in the video itself or in the comment section or just going I've talked about some of the comments in my videos. What do I say? I say, leave it the fuck alone. People are going to have their opinions. People are going to have wrong opinions. People are going to have right opinions. Leave it the fuck alone. Don't engage it. Because you know what that would have done for him? Regardless of his political shit. Regardless of that, you wouldn't have this further fuel to throw on the fire to say he's weaponizing his community. That if he had said that, the rest of it would still be there, but you wouldn't have added fuel to the fire by saying he's weaponizing his community to go after people criticizing him. It wouldn't have made things that much better. It sure as hell wouldn't have made it as worse as it got. And this is basic. This is absolute basic common fucking sense. Problem is, Hasan sits in his little room smelling his own farts, basically getting put on a fucking pedestal by Twitch, so he believes all of the shit that comes out of his mouth. He believes he's better than everybody. There's your problem. When you guy who has the guy's got an ego that his social media can't cash. His ego is writing checks that his social media presence can't cash, basically. And he's being an idiot about it. Because he thinks he's bigger and better than everyone else. He literally thinks that he's better than everyone else. So it's common fallacy with people that, basically when he's getting told on all sides that he's the best, when he's getting told by his community, when he's getting told that by Twitch, because, Twitch has put him on a fucking pedestal. They're singing him happy goddamn birthday by the CEO of Twitch himself. He thinks he's a lot more important and special than he actually is. And so he thinks he's untouchable. And that's why he does shit like this. He brigades his community like this because he thinks he's untouchable. My question is, if he thought he was so untouchable, why did he flee from America? If he really is living in Japan now, if he really did move to Japan, I have no idea if he is, I don't know if that's real or not. If he really did flee and move to Japan, why would he do that if he thinks he's so untouchable? I don't know. Maybe he's starting to realize shit's not as wonderful as he likes to think it is.
They botted the video immediately. Lol, is at 2.5k dislikes.
Yeah, because of course it's botted. No, I will not become a Karen. I may just become a whining child. I may just whine and moan and throw a temper tantrum. I will be a Karen. I'm not whining and throwing a temper tantrum. I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm trying to be reasonable. But of course they said that it's botted. That is the typical response for anybody. Like, the typical response for people like this is if a video comes out and there is a fuckload of dislikes for it, or there's a fuckload of comments saying you're garbage or what have you, their instant go-to right now is bots. They refuse to accept that people really don't dislike them this much. Exactly, yeah. They're so busy, with their heads up their own ass and inhaling deeply like it's a fucking scuba mask, that they cannot fathom. It is inconceivable that this many people could possibly dislike me. It must be bots. It must be trolls. They are. His quote unquote fame is disconnecting him from reality. That he cannot possibly conceive that so many people dislike or even hate him. Yes. And he's not the only one. He's just the one that's on the screen currently.
And here's the clip.
Mr. President, the second piker has hit the trash taste. Why would you do this, Hasan? Really? The terrorist endorser?
Wait, we saw this.
Things that I honestly cannot listen to a counter.
Did I jump back too far? Okay, I did.
2.5k dislikes.
Oh yes, your single like is going to help, Hasan.
You really upset the weebs this time? Yeah.
That dude in chat trying to...
Just wait till he upsets the furries. They'll wreck his whole fucking system without batting an eye. The weebs? You piss off the weebs, you're starting to get into a territory you don't want to go treading into, Hasan. You better watch out, because the moment the furries come on board, you are fucking done. Okay? I'm waiting for him to piss off the furries. Because then we are going to see a shitstorm that even Anonymous could not even dream of bringing about. Okay, and I know there's a lot of overlap on Tanashi. Alright, so quick definition. Weebs are... I'm bare bonesing it. Weebs are basically anime lovers that from outside of Japan. And I think even some that are inside Japan. It's just basically anime, like significant fans of anime. And Victor, I'm very aware that there are furry hackers. That's what I'm saying. If he pisses off the furry community, they will fucking end him. They will, if he pisses off the furry communities, they will fucking destroy his stream. They will wreck his computer, they will destroy his stream, and they won't have to be anywhere even close to the room. No, the furries are not gonna send him a pipe bomb. No, they will not do that. But they will get into his system. They'll get into his system. They will rip out all of the juicy stuff he doesn't want anybody to see, and they will publish it all over the internet. Guarantee you that. Yeah, basically, furries are like the IT gods of the planet right now. The Pirate Software once made the joke that if all the furries, heaven forbid, if all the furries happen to get on one plane and that plane took a nosedive and, again, God forbid, something happened to that plane and they were all gone, the planet would shut the fuck down. Because the furries is what keeps the entire planet's IT functional. So that's why you do not want to piss off the furry community. It is a very good thing to have the furry community as your friend. You could have
blame all the dislikes on some like dislike bot. It's just the icing on the cake. But wait, there's another clip to take a look at. This one that reads, Chatter tells Hasan he's out of touch, which he didn't appreciate.
Because sometimes we'll stare into the darkness on this broadcast. Like we'll look at like what they're saying, and they just can't comprehend how like journalists are still covering this guy in a positive way. What the f is going on? And it's like, dude, why do you think like a 40-year-old journalist has no political convictions of their own? Like you think they're going to be deluded by like a drama farmer on YouTube, like a slop tuber, and be like, wow, this is a real bad guy? You think they haven't seen internet harassment campaigns before?
Dude, you promote terrorism. You apologize for SA by those same people. This is not the same fucking thing. Again, he has zero self-awareness. He believes, yeah, and he's asked for his chat to defend him on all this shit. Again, he's gobbling up everything that says, you know, you're the best, you're the greatest. He's consuming that. Like, he's gorging himself on that, and he believes every word of it. He believes he is infallible. Because everyone around him is telling him such. His chat, Twitch, everyone's telling him he is infallible. And he believes it. And so he doesn't possibly think that he could be bad at anything. And so now he's making excuses that, oh, you know, I can't believe, you know, talking about I can't believe that journalists are still...
Replace his floors with Legos.
I can go with that. I want to hear his quote again. Hang on.
Of their own. Can't comprehend how, like, journalists are still covering this guy in a positive way. What the f is going on? And it's like,
yeah,
dude, why do you think? You think, like, a 40-year-old journalist has no political convictions of their own?
Right. Here's why that statement fails. Talking about a quote-unquote 40-year-old journalist who do they not have political convictions of their own? Sure they do. Those same journalists do not promote terrorists. They do not play terrorist propaganda videos on their news stations. They do not publicly apologize. They do not publicly apologize, endorse, whatever the fuck you want to call it, SAing in that region of the planet. They don't do that. They may have, journalists may have their own personal political ideologies. What do you mean they do? Well, what do you mean they do?
That guy is an egotistical maniac with elderberry breath and is a hamster.
Yeah, yes. Well, Zip, that I get. The people he's talking about, people questioning why journalists are speaking positively about it. But he's taking that and saying, what, you don't think journalists have their own personal political ideologies? It's like, that's not the fucking point, dude. Journalists with the personal ideology of, or the personal political ideology of journalists does not coincide with advertising and promoting terrorist groups. Like, yes, journalists will interview terrorists, but they do not sympathize with them. They do not say, what you are doing is right. That's the difference. The journalists, when they interview terrorists, they do it to basically just for a news segment. Because they know it's going to get views on their news network. That's why they do those interviews. They don't sympathize with them. They don't say, hey, you're wonderful, keep doing what you're doing. They don't do that. You do. Yeah, basically it's... Yeah, you think that the journal's getting paid to promote him? That's entirely possible. You said that, like, I don't know much about Hasan's family. You said his family is in, like, the news industry? I can imagine that maybe his family's calling in favors to get journalists. Yeah, so if his family's connected, I have no doubt that his family's calling in favors to have him put into the news positively. Absolutely. He's a trust fund baby. If I'm not mistaken, yes, JRC, I know it was a reference to Monty Python. Why do you think I laughed? If I'm not mistaken, Hasan has never worked a day in his fucking life. He has lived off of his family's wealth for most of his life. That's what allowed him to become a Twitch streamer, is because his family basically paid for everything. He's never had to work a fucking day in his life. And so he became a Twitch streamer and was able to just spout off all this bullshit and has been able to make a career of that. But he's never actually had to work. Oh yeah, he's 100% a Nepo baby. He doesn't know what it's like to actually work. So he can just spout off whatever he wants. And again, he's probably been told all his life by his family, by his community, by Twitch. Everyone around him's telling him, you're the greatest, you're wonderful. And so he believes it. He believes he is the greatest thing on Twitch and that he's untouchable.
Like, you think they're going to be deluded by like a drama farmer on YouTube, like a slop tuber, and be like, wow, this is a real bad guy? You think they haven't seen internet harassment campaigns before?
You think they weren't paid the fuck off, you dumb fuck? The journalists were paid off to write puff pieces on you, you dumb fucking asshole.
You are so out of touch, holy hell. No, brother, I'm not the one who's out of touch. The people that are going, we hate you because we think this person is an evil person, me, okay?
Facts.
We think your friend that you know better, okay, is actually secretly an evil person because we've seen YouTube videos from rabid haters. Is an active...
Look at that. Look at that. They were spotting him actively while he's saying this with wah wah. Yeah, copium, and this person just fucking called him out. This person just I don't know if Hasan anticipated this, Hasan just literally gave his critic a highlight. He literally highlighted his critic, calling him out. And when Hasan is twisting himself in the knots trying to justify his bullshit, goes, wah wah. Yeah. And what was he talking about with the... Hang on. One thing they said. Hang on.
Okay. We think your friend that you know better, okay, is actually secretly an evil person because we...
Now, what friend is he talking about there? Moment. Yes, it was. Who is this friend that he's talking about? Sea Dog? Why do people think... Why do people think Connor... Where is he coming up with this idea that people think Connor's evil? Where is he coming up with this idea? Well, yeah, because not that he doesn't know, but listen.
Me, okay? We think your friend that you know better, okay, is actually secretly an evil person because...
Yeah. No. Hey, wait a minute. Okay, he's third-personing this. Okay, that's why I was so fucking confused. He was saying these people are telling Sea Dog via these comments that your friend, Hasan, is... Okay. Sorry, he's talking himself in so many fucking circles, it took me a second to orient myself to figure out what the fuck he was even trying to say, because God forbid he talk like a normal fucking person. But then again, he's trying to spin doctor his way out of this, so no surprise he's gonna try and twist shit up so people get confused.
We've seen YouTube videos from rabid haters.
There's the womp womp.
Is an active line of attack.
Hey! Oh, look at that. Someone just flat out screaming, I hate you. On his stream. Look at that. Oh, wait, you can't see it. Hang on. Right there, chat. Right between my ears. Someone flat out screaming, I hate you.
You are who you associate with so fair criticism against Connor.
Well, I don't know how, I don't know how much of, again, I don't really know anything about Connor other than here's literally the only thing I know about Connor is, I believe he's a voice actor and he's good friends with Mousy. That's all I know about Connor. I don't follow him at all. Truthfully, I have not followed Hasan at all either, but I've seen enough video clips of him through videos we've reacted to that they speak very loudly. So
the assumption that you as a random commentator, a random commenter online, is not out of touch, but I am, because what you expect in terms of retaliation towards someone like myself is not matching the reality is hilarious.
I can't believe how...
The fuck was that word salad? That made no fucking sense.
That you as a random
Wait, what? Hang on, I gotta try and hear that again, because that did not make any fucking sense.
Person, because we've seen YouTube videos from rabid haters is an active line of attack. The assumption that you as a random commentator, a random commenter online, is not out of touch, but I am, because what you expect in terms of retaliation towards someone like myself is not matching the reality is hilarious.
Okay. He's trying to say that it's hilarious. Wait. Holy fuck! I've got to. I'm trying to dissect. Yeah. Hang on. I want to hear what he says at the beginning.
The assumption that you, as a random commentator, a random commenter online, is not out of touch, but I am.
Okay. So, as a walk moment. Yeah, he's saying, you as a random commentator are not out of touch, but I am.
Because what you expect in terms of like retaliation towards someone like myself
has nothing to do with it. Him saying, you as a random commentator think you are not out of touch and I am. Because what you expect the retaliation to be is like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? This is not about retaliatory conditions here. He's trying to tell his commentator on his channel, on his stream, that he's wrong, but he can't. That's the problem. He wants so desperately to tell this person, you're wrong, but he can't. Because he knows he's not. And so he's word salading the fuck out of it, saying, this is just, it's not in your reality. So he's like word salading the fuck out of it to pretend like he's smarter when this person with like 8 words just basically cut him down to size and said, dude, you're so out of touch. And he can't defend it. And he knows he can't defend it. So he's just doing word vomit to try and make it seem so he can tell, so his brainless followers on Twitch think he's smart. Because he cannot articulate why this person is wrong, because they're not wrong. He's unable to articulate it, so he'll just do word vomit and pretend like he's smart, and and his followers that love gobbling that shit up will eagerly eat that word vomit like they're 10 days starved. That's it.
Is not matching the reality is hilarious.
I can't believe how perfect that clip is. Dude's really trying to sound not out of touch by citing journalists. Like, oh, 40-year-old journalists support me. As if the opinion of some random journalists prove he's a morally good and not out of touch person. He doesn't even realize that the majority of people despise journalists and don't trust them. It's probably one of the most out of touch things he actually could have said to use for his argument of apparently not being out of touch. And lastly, there's this tweet that reads, Hasan denies his lolcow status. And in the clip, he's actually still going on about the whole out of touch thing. So let's take a look.
How do you...
Wait, I want to read that comment. If you generally believe I'm considered a fucking lolcow by anyone that is a normal human being. Really? Also points out that he's one of the most popular streamers on Twitch. Okay, chat, I'm not going to ask you to commit yourself to harm on this one. Does anyone happen to know, off the top of their heads, what his average view count is? Out of curiosity, does anyone happen to know what Hasan's average view count might be? Just out of curiosity. I realize it's too many. And I realize it's probably thousands. We have any idea how many thousands? 2K and growing less. 20 to 25K. That sounds a bit more right. I was going to say, it cannot be 2K. Okay. Chat, VTubers outpace this motherfucker. There are several VTubers that outpace Hasan in viewership. And he's saying he's one of the most popular streamers? I don't think so.
In the clip, he's actually still going on about the whole out of touch thing. So let's take a look.
How do you not understand that? things will keep shocking you over and over again if you are so echo chambered and hug boxed that you genuinely believe that I am considered lolcow by anyone.
Make fucking kettle with the goddamn echo chamber bullshit. Dude. You are one of the worst fucking echo chamberers on the fucking platform. Do not try and claim that someone in your chat calling you out is stuck in an echo chamber when you are the fucking king of it. Okay? You literally are the echo chamber king, and right now you're holding court. So please, shut the fuck up.
One that is a normal human being who goes outside. Okay? That's the problem. You're like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch right now being like, you're the one who's out of touch, Hasan.
Fascinating. Knowing nothing about this guy. Knowing nothing about this chatter. Other than these 2 posts. He's instantly making the assumption that this person is a 40-year-old man who never goes outside. Interesting. Not very enlightened of you, Mr. Leftist. Yeah, just blatantly making an assumption. Okay, well, Dragon, followers means fuck all. Okay, so followers, I'm sorry, on YouTube and on Twitter, followers mean fuck all. In terms of popularity. Well, Bobcat, it's what I do. Oh, I'd say you're right. He has tapped into that Howard Stern thing. You know, I told you guys about this before. The whole Howard Sterning of popularity, where only half the people in his viewership actually like him, the other half actually hate him, but they still tune in because they see what they want to do. They'll see what he wants to say next, and thus basically fuel their anger and the hatred they have for him, which is not healthy. Well, I didn't say he was doing it intentionally, Revan. I'm just saying it's the same principle. But again, you know, the half that tune in because they hate him is not healthy to do that. Like, chat, if you guys ever, like, have a streamer or a YouTube channel that you vehemently dislike, don't tune in because you hate it and you just want to see what they're going to say next to fuel that hate. It's only going to make you sick. That's why I'm not doing as, videos from, certain people as much, because it's fueling the rage and fueling the anger, and I know that's not going to be good. So I'm trying to mix it up with the fun. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of Revan, not necessarily. But yeah, a lot of his people in here chat probably are there just to see what he'll say next, to feed that anger, which is not the right thing.
Because in spite of the fact that you are one of the most popular content creators on Twitch, I still think me and my homies think you're a bad guy. And the more you don't realize that other people don't see it the way that you do, the more you just make up conspiracies in your mind. You can say womp womp all day, but the real womp is happening to you, old man. Calm down.
Again, making an assumption, you know nothing about this guy. And they're not wrong. Like, what this person say? Not wrong, and he's basically, see, again, he can't defend himself. He's word salading the fuck out of this. He's projecting, yeah. He's word salading, and he's projecting, but he can't defend himself. He has no defense against this. He's butthurt right now. That's why he's saying you're a 40-year-old guy, you're a 40-year-old man who doesn't go outside. He's butthurt and can't defend himself, so he has to go to 3rd grade schoolyard bullshit. Because he can't defend himself. The sign of a small mind. If he could actually defend himself on this, theoretically you could. Now, contextually, it would depend upon the context. You can defend yourself if someone says you're out of touch, depending on what the circumstance is. You can. And you could also just say, you know what? I think you're wrong, but you're entitled to that opinion. You could literally simplify it like that. You don't even necessarily need to defend yourself. You could literally say, if someone says, "Oh God, you're so out of touch," one thing you can say is, "Can you please tell me how? How do you perceive that I am out of touch?" Or, quite right, yes, you could also go, "I don't think I am, but you're certainly entitled to feel that way if you think I am. I disagree, but..." The smart thing is if someone says you're so out of touch, it'd be like, how? Tell me how. The fact that he did not do that and did not go like, okay, you're going to call me, and I saw other people in the chat, I think, were also saying he was out of touch too. And, the fact that he did say, how do you feel like I am out of touch? To try and get them to prove their point. Well, that would have been the first step. With him not being able to defend himself, the first step to him defending himself would have been to say, to ask this person to quantify, how am I out of touch? How are you perceiving me as out of touch? Engage. Get context of why this person is saying that they are out of touch. Or just be like, you know what? I disagree. I don't think I'm out of touch. But you're certainly entitled to feel that way. Let us move on. But no, he had to keep engaging with him. But he did it in a way that he was just fucking word salading and word vomiting it to make himself sound smart. That's why I was saying he couldn't defend himself. And then he defaulted to, you're just some 40-year-old. He didn't say virgin. I know he wanted to. I know he wanted to throw the word virgin in there. I think he held back. But that's why he ended up defaulting to, you're a 40-year-old man who never goes outside. But I know he wanted to say you're a 40-year-old virgin that never went outside. I know he wanted to say that, but he held back on that last part. But he defaulted to schoolyard. But you want to know what's funny? Look at what that last comment in his chat is. Out of touch, this dude spends 14 hours online a day, Lamau. People in his own chat are like, dude, you're gonna call someone out for being out of touch and not going outside when you spend 14 fucking hours a day online? Shut the fuck up.
You can say womp womp all day, but the real womp is happening to you, old man. Calm down.
Why does he keep using this whole 40-year-old thing? Like, oh yes, the 40-year-old journalists support me. And then this time he's mad at the chatter saying he's like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch. But anyways, I think it's really funny that he's talking about...
he's scared about turning 40. How old is Hasan now? He's got to be in his mid-30s now, right? Is he scared that he's going to be turning 40 in a couple years? Is that why he kept saying 40-year-old journalist, 40-year-old guy living that never goes outside? Is Hasan scared of turning 40? Oh, poor baby. Yeah, no kidding, Tanashi.
Chatter saying he's like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch. But anyways, I think it's really funny that he's talking about conspiracy theories, but had nothing to say about conspiracy theories when there was this chatter saying all the dislikes are just some bots disliking the video. So when it's convenient for him, things are conspiracy theories, but when it's not convenient for him, they're not conspiracy theories apparently. And let me get this part straight. So his defense for being a good person is that journalists support him and that he's one of the most viewed people on Twitch. Is that really the argument that he's going with? The last thing we'll take a look at is this tweet that says, Hasan rallies the troops in his Twitter community. The screenshot provided reading, I don't think it's all organic trash taste fans, to be honest. I got lots of weirdos roaming the web recently. It's okay to correct the record, in my opinion. They get away with saying a lot of totally ridiculous things. Everyone is capable of making up their mind if they simply watch the stream. Yeah.
Pretty sure everything the majority of what these people are saying are not totally ridiculous things, considering he live streamed most of it. Everything that people criticize him for, supporting terrorism, supporting SA in those countries, like calling for the elimination of a very specific group, all of that he broadcasts himself. He put it out on the internet. All of these things, exactly, Atanashi. All of these things can be backed up with video from his own stream. But chat, they're totally ridiculous. How could anyone possibly believe any of this? It's just ridiculous. He shouldn't even just dignify it with a response. He'll just word salad the fuck out of it and said, yeah, well, Dragon, it's not ignorance. Do not mistake this for ignorance. This is willful egotism. This is 100% willful, and it is 1,000% ego. Yeah. I don't even know if you could quantify it as willful ignorance. That's insulting people who are willfully ignorant. Again, this guy uses his own asshole as a scuba mask to smell his own farts on a daily basis. Okay? He is completely full of himself and thinks he cannot he believes himself to be infallible. And is shocked, I say, that anybody could possibly disagree with his ideology.
Totally ridiculous things. Everyone is capable of making up their mind if they simply watch the stream. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's too late now, Andrew. He's already fooled himself.
Make up their own opinion, but when that opinion's negative, then it's not organic, it's not authentic. That can't be right. It's got to be bots. It's got to be brigading. Anyways, let me know what you think about this whole trash taste Hasan situation. I believe that's the most important stuff that we went over. As always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.
One thing I am going to point out. I am going to point out one singular thing about this. There was no discussion, at no part in this, discussed what was said on the podcast, other than that first opening statement that he made. That's one thing I did note. Is that he was on the podcast, and that was the big offense. Like, did he say anything on this podcast that was offensive? Like, the fact that just having him on the stream was enough to create this shitstorm. Yeah, the fact that his very presence causes this should be a fucking clue. Honestly, like, just being there should have been a fucking clue to begin with. Oh, I know he's not liked. I know he's not. Oh my god.